those challenges, Sapna, that you dealt with as women entrepreneurs, as women of color when you were embarking on this venture, and even now?
Oh gosh. I mean, you know what? I think earlier on, we had people that tried to take advantage of our lack of business, understanding, when you kind of hear about some of the shadiness and the scams that happen with whether you're dealing with certain contractors or vendors, when they realize that you've never done this before, that you don't know what you're doing, it's very easy to get taken advantage of. And, and again, like I said, I think a lot of the misinformation out there was that this is daddy's money, or, that we have rich husbands that are giving us a pet project. Got a lot of that. It was really frustrating because, it wasn't the case. We put, a lot of our hard-earned money, we don't have investors. I think that's a big misconception. We don't have any investor. It's just my business partner and I, so it was really tough sometimes when you kind of had some of that sort of, but I feel like in nature, there is going to just naturally be opportunities where people will try to take advantage of you if they think you're weaker. But, luckily we learned quickly, and we got ourselves out of some potentially dangerous problems that could have become crippling to our business had we pursued or continued to stay in certain routes. Even to today, I definitely think it's interesting because even now, I think one of our biggest marketabilities that we put out there a lot is that we're an all-female, women-run team. And our business, has grown because of the strong women that we have in our team and our management team. And I still think that, there's a lot of misconceptions around what we are capable of, despite our distractions of motherhood and, other things that we kind of have to also take on in terms of our roles. And for me, especially, it's not really focusing on the negativity. It's just focusing on you and really just kind of staying on your course and realizing that some of these things that are said in passing or said actively to you are not really about you. It's really about the person that putting that out there. And I think it's really important that you just kind of inherently focus on yourself and focus on what your goals are, and realize that, even though, we talk a lot about the divide in gender, there's just divide in society. And I think, we will see some people that you'll see it as you grow, you'll see who truly does support you and who doesn't. And I think for us, it's become abundantly clear who our true supporters are and who aren't. And I think a lot of people can resonate with that. I think a lot of people can relate.
Yeah, I love that perspective because, if you look for it, there's always people who are going to try to put you down, but it's, you as your own person, as a woman who's capable to then prove what you can actually accomplish.
And I think so too. And I think it's not even just about like proving them wrong per se, but just proving to yourself that their words don't impact.
Right. It's more for your own sake rather than anyone
100%,
else.
100%. And I'm sure you see it too on social media. Even like there's a lot of passive aggressive comments that are directed to you. And sometimes, it's just like, wow, there's a lot of self-limiting belief behind those things that you read and you hear, but there's also, people's own insecurities that they're putting out there that somehow, and it's toxic in the sense that, and it's cyclical because it doesn't make them feel any better either. They say it in a moment of weakness, their own, sort of resolve. They don't feel at peace when that gets put out there. So you're really just struggling with a lot of that's what I mean. So for me, it's just really about, okay, that sucks, but let's kind of focus on what we focus on.
And you and Elisa are both moms. You said, you both have two little ones. So obviously having a supportive partner in this, running a successful business is so important.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, you know what? I always say my success is my family's success. I could not do this without the support that I have, and I will never sort of try to make it seem like I do it all. Because to be honest, I am the queen of, if someone has my kids, I'm the queen of being okay with like what they want to do with my kids. Because if I don't have the time, to sort of do certain things with my kids, I need to be okay with how someone else is raising my children and be comfortable in their skill set and comfortable in their, sort of values to know that that's how my children are going to become strong and independent as well. And so, yeah, you know what? I've had an amazing partner. He's always believed, and he's not a big risk taker at all. He's quite conservative. I've always been the riskier one in the relationship in terms of, spontaneity and taking on sort of things that are, tied with money. But he's always believed in me. He's always realized that I make informed, risky decisions.
Did you ask him out first?
Interesting. You know what? I think did, because I don't think he outwardly would ask me. So yeah, I definitely had to say I love you first. That I do remember. And I know he's gonna watch this and roll his eyes. But yeah, no, and I think it is really important. He's always sort of trusted my instincts, and he's always been a very big supporter of the fact that, these are things that he recognizes too. I'm doing this for the family. My goals are our goals, and we really just have a great sort of communication. I think that is necessary for us to kind of be able to have the sort of chaotic schedules that we do have. Mm-hmm. It's not perfect. And, there's definitely days where we're definitely not on each other's good sides, but it works, and it works well. And, I wouldn't be able to do what I do if it wasn't for him valuing and believing in all the things that I take on.
It's part of the journey.
100%.